Hello there, Heavy Breather here. So in today's video we're going to cover some basic movement tips. This is going to be quite a long video, so we're going to get straight into it. I hope you enjoy.
The way we're going to do this is I'm going to show you a few tips in the firing range, and I'll show some actual in-game gameplay of me using some of these tips and how they help me in gunfights and in the game in general. Right, so the first tip, this is really basic. But if you want to get across the map as quick as you can, you want to slide jump. Slide jump as much as you can like this. This way you'll get across the map as fast as possible. And it's not about just going across the map when you're not in a fight. In a fight, this is very useful to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. One thing you don't want to do is to slide jump too quickly like this. You'll go slower than running if you do this. It's not good. So here's another basic movement tip. So this is your standard strafe speed, left to right. The wingman is pretty much, well, it is exactly the same speed. The wingman is the fastest for strafing with while you're ADSing or aiming down sight. If we compare that to a light machine gun, which is Spitfire in this case, see how the strafe speed is greatly decreased. If you do it with a wingman, you can get away with it if you move just strafe side to side. And if you do that with a Spitfire, you're basically standing still. There's no movement. This is not movement. So if you're holding a light machine gun like a Spitfire, L-Star, or the Devotion, once you're this close to your target, you might as well hip fire. Because doing this close, you're just going to get rinsed by an R99 or whatever. Even if you miss some shots, at least you're moving, you're a harder target to hit. So what you're going to do when someone ambushes you is just be as random as you can. Run in circles if you have to, even if it's in the open. And ideally you want to try run to cover or let them waste as much ammo. They'll still hit you, they're going to hit you, but they won't do as much damage as they would have if you kept running in a straight line. And once they have to reload, then it's your turn. You can come in, close the gap, then it's all about gunfight management.
So here's an example of how to dodge bullets effectively. I just landed and it's a 2v1. I unload, and now I gotta reload, but I keep moving. Notice how much they missed me there.
This way you're still able to move and turn and face to your target. And this works in all directions, so you could be in a fight here, near reload, and you can slide away. It works better downhill, so if someone's up above, you have to reload, just jump, and yeah, you'll slide back in that direction. Jump sliding, I'm going to show you in a second some gameplay of where jump sliding, it just saved me, and I was able to clutch a 2v1 by finishing off with a jump slide. So for our next tip, we all know about healing downhill. I'm going to show you anyways. I'm going to include it as a tip because I'm going to say this is for beginners, but if you're sliding downhill, you can pop a heal like this. This is the best way to heal on the move. But if you're on the flat ground, what I like to do, I push up on the D-pad, go into a slide, do a little hop slide, and by the time you lose momentum on the second slide, you should have popped your heal by then.
So I've got an example here of me healing on the move using the slide healing technique I just showed. Notice how I don't heal all out like just in one go. I do it when it's efficient, like there's a bit of a hill. Obviously you need to be listening out, you have to be aware of your surroundings. If there's enemies nearby, definitely run to a corner and pop them all off in one go.
Say you're doing something longer like pop your shield battery and you have to say get behind that cover there and they're shooting you from behind. What you could do is pop this, slide, and you could still get behind cover and you don't have to stay here as long, and bang, you're back in the fight.
Okay, so in this clip I'm pushing a squad. I'm about to demonstrate how to do this in the middle of a fight, the slide heal. So now I realise there's two squads with that Mirage popping in. So I try to go for a flank, but on the way to cover, that's the important thing. I started to pop my my shield cell. And it just allowed me to push with a little bit more health and do it on the way as well, so I'm not losing out on any time or much time on my push on this squad.
This is another very basic tip, but in Apex you almost never will be standing still. The only time you can stand still or be still is when you loot, I think, in my opinion. If you're just standing around, I don't know, you could be waiting for the ring or anything, what you should do is just strafe, just keep strafing, keep moving. You'll be a hard target to hit, especially late rings when there's a chance someone might have a Kraber. If you just keep moving, just, I don't know, throw a few crouches in there, move side to side, front back, you're just going to make yourself a harder target to hit, and people are less likely to even try shooting you and giving their position away.
Okay, so in this clip, it is just the perfect example of why you should keep moving, especially notice the squad, there's only 3 left. Sent the decoy out, and look at that. I just perfectly timed that. See, as soon as I crouch, a Kraber shot out of nowhere. Gotta keep moving.
Another tip, certain air balloons, there's one at Sorting Factory, just outside. If you just go up the zipline like this, just before you reach the top, just hop off. This way you don't make any noise when you land. Someone could be there, someone could be there, and now you have the high ground, you're on the high ground. So say you're being chased and you want to try and escape through a zipline, or a balloon rather. So my next tip is to avoid this damage while going up an air balloon or any vertical zipline like a train yard or a Mirage Voyage. Once you grapple on, just spin. This will move your hitbox around, it'll make you a much harder target to hit. Sorry if I made you a bit dizzy there. Right, so this next tip is for people who use Octane. So I see this happen way too often, where people will stim and then hit their jump pad. This is a total waste of time. The reason is, if you stim before a jump, it doesn't make a difference it doesn't actually make you jump farther. You can jump the same distance without stim, and you don't even have to be at Octane, and you can still get the max distance off a jump pad. So this is what you should do instead. Approach your jump pad, use it as normal, get as much distance, go wherever you want, but as soon as you land, bang, that's where you want to use it. So what you want to do to get the furthest distance is to press A, get that height, and then when you're about to hit the ground, do your second jump. And another little tip with Octane, once you stim, throw in a few slides in there. It's still, slide jumping is still the fastest way to move. So yeah, don't just stim and run. Throw a few slides in there. This tip also goes for Wraith in the void like this, as well as Bangalore. If you're getting shot with Bangalore, throw in some slide jumps while your passive is boosting you with speed. And with Bloodhound's ultimate, and his ultimate lasts so much longer, but even still, if you throw in some slide jumps, Bloodhound is quick. So way around Wraith's new tactical slow is to go straight into a slide as soon as you activate your tactical, as soon as you push left bumper. Just like that.
So in this clip, I put that tip to practice. Notice I get shot. There. Just slide, and yeah, you barely notice. You wouldn't even know that there was a slow whenever you use a tactical. So yeah, I managed to escape.
So here's a couple tips with Loba and a jump drive. So what you would do, one way of doing it is to throw your bracelet while you're sliding, and you'll keep that momentum up, and boom. While you're waiting, you're still moving, you're still make it difficult for the enemies to shoot you. One thing you could do is incorporate one of my earlier tips, which is the jump slide. So if I throw my bracelet over there, while we wait I can jump and slide, and it's not brilliant, but at least you're moving. You make yourself a little bit harder to hit. Say you want to get on top of this, whatever that is, a sign. If you use your care package, if you call in a care package like this, Lifeline packages can help you get to places where, I don't know, say maybe only Revenant or Pathfinder could get up to. Now you can use this as a way to climb up, get to places where you couldn't access before. And another tip is his climbing, so you have to try and abuse this. It's his passive, and you can climb like this anytime, all the time, throughout the whole game. You always will be trying to look and see how you can get to the high ground. There are so many ways to get to the high ground as Revenant, and even if you fall down you can get straight back up. Pathfinder now has to wait 35 seconds before he's able to use his grapple, so yeah, if you're playing Revenant, abuse is passive. For Crypto, when you pull out your drone, you can still slide once you activate it. Means you're able to deploy your drone faster and put yourself in cover. Another thing you could do, say there's a fight going on, instead of doing this, where you recoil your drone, it wastes a few seconds before you actually come back and control Crypto. What you should do instead of recalling from the drone, you should exit the drone first. Now you're back as Crypto, and then recall from here. Okay, so here's another tip. So this happens to a lot of people, including me. It's a really hard habit to break. But if you want to get good at Apex, you gotta stop doing this. Where if you're in the gunfight, say I'm having a fight with this dummy right here, and you want to unload on him, the worst thing you could do is unload and slowly walk closer or in any direction. This is just, you're gonna get melted. You're such an easy target. The only time you can get away with aiming down sights for long periods of time like this is if you have high ground above them, or if you've come up behind them and you have plenty of time and you know it's safe to slowly strafe and hit those shots. One thing I see happen too often is people standing still and unloading their well, garbage or rubbish out from the inventory. So what you should do is, yeah, just do it while you're running. Just saves time, you're still moving. Much more efficient way of getting about and organizing your inventory. This is very important. When you loot, do not loot from the outside. Loot somewhere where there's cover, always. Right, so a little tip about jumping from the dropship. So if you want to be the first to land, what I usually do is pick a location, mark it, and once you get around 500, well, between 400 and 500 meters, that's about when you want to drop. In this case, we're slightly off to the side, so 600 to 500 will do. One thing to do when you are attached to ziplines, just hold X and you'll just go across automatically.
Right, I know this is a movement guide, but I know how much people struggle with this, and this is a good example on how to counter Mirage. So I used his ultimate and I just follow him. And the way I did that was I just followed his footsteps. So easy. Okay, so here's a couple clips of some movement examples. So we just third-partied a team, but now we're getting third-partied ourselves. So a Pathfinder will appear up here, yep. And this is such an interesting fight, like, we both put a lot of effort into our movement, but we were both missing like mad. I guess you could say both of our axes were probably pretty poor, but you can't knock us for using the movement. Okay, so here I got damage, so I'm sliding downhill, using the slide heal, and even there, gotta try and put some strafes in, and I managed to take him out too. Another squad coming in, barely survived that. Heal behind cover, and I just about started that on the slide. I should have started that earlier, really. And yeah, my teammate finished him, and it was an easy finish from there. So in this clip, unfortunately my teammate goes down. I try to push and realize I can't do it, I'm in trouble. And this is a good little trick, just hold doors. A lot of people do this, it's quite common. And he realizes I'm here now, so I just jump down to the next level. And I actually expect them to follow me, so I go inside, hold the door, but they don't know where I've gone. Then suddenly the Pathfinder pops up, and I just switch sides. So doing the same trick again, hold the door, good old thermite, drop down another level, do the same thing again. keep their shields up. I know he's broke, so this should be an easy battle to win. My RC almost lets me down. But yeah, this is a 2v1, and my movement put me on top of this situation. Map awareness.
Oof. Now that is what you call movement. Here we got a couple of buildings here. This one, there are so many ways to get to the roof. There's the obvious... What's going on here? Okay. There's the obvious ways to go up the stairs and climb. If you climb onto this box, you can actually climb up the side here. And same from this side. A lot of buildings, if you open the door outwards, it just gives you that chance to climb up. I literally just found this out. You can slide and you can climb up on this side. I didn't think you could get up on this side, but you can. And same on these buildings. If you open the door out this way, you're able to climb up on the roof from this angle. So now down here we got some interesting buildings. This one, for example, you can climb up. It's pretty basic. That's the same with this building. From the ground floor here, you can actually get all the way up to the roof. If you climb up this like that, and you straight up just like that, you're on the roof. Our artillery. This goes for same building at Repulsor. They have the same design. Right, so if you open these doors outwards, you'll be able to scale this wall and get right up to the top.
Right, so I got a couple clips here showing how useful this high ground is. So I used the door technique, get up as quick as possible. I know someone's down below, and here he is. Just came up, wasn't expecting me to be there. Easy ambush. Can hear his teammate as well. And yeah, easy squad wipe. In this clip, we just landed. Take out the Ray. I ended up finishing her, so I thought I'd wait around for a teammate. So I did the same thing, went up to the high ground and waited for someone to recover a banner. What ended up happening was actually another squad pushed us. So my teammate gets ambushed here from the inside. Didn't even hear that Revenant. So yeah, he didn't even see me. And my decoy, for the Mirage, knew where he was. Easy squad wipe.
Here's some movement. I like fighting up here quite a lot. What usually happens is a team up here and a team pushing up from the stairs. If you're the team pushing up, one of my favorite moves, I don't know, make sure they're pinned down or they're not watching you. Make sure they're not watching you, and then make your way around the outside. They will not expect you to be doing this. And you can get right away behind them. And it's the same for when they're attacking you. If they're attacking you, they're just going to focus on this little bottleneck. If you make your way around, you can get a different angle on them. Okay, so we're at water treatment. I just spotted a gun up there, and you can easily get up, use supply bins, get up to the top level. That's the same on this side. Don't have to use these stairs. That's the same if you open the doors outwards, like in Canoe on many buildings. Just allows you to get up to the high ground. And it's not only Pathfinder who can get up onto the roof of these. If you climb up here, any legend can actually make up onto the roof. So, don't know how many people know this, but it's quite useful for water treatments in the last ring. These buildings are brilliant. You can actually just climb up them from any angle, get up onto the roof. Yeah, there's so many ways to approach and attack this sort of building. Even down here. Use a outwards opening door. Boom, you're in the highest point. It's all about outsmarting your opponent. And here's a little trick on getting up to the top. Might be a bit noisy with this thing, but if you go up here, you could jump across just like that. Now you're up here. This is a quick way to get around, especially if someone is up here thinking that there's only one way in defending like this. So Gauntlet is a brilliant place for movement. So these jump pads in the middle allows you to jump through the hoop. But if you jump on this second jump pad like that, and it allows you to get up onto the roof just like this. And now with the recent update to the jump pads, it allows you to get up onto the roof from pretty much anywhere now, if you time the jumps right. Ooh, hello. So you see this box, you can actually get up onto the balcony from this angle. Just like that. Same as from this side, if you climb up onto these bins, you can climb up onto this over here, climb right to the top, and bang, you're in the balcony from a different angle again. And there's different angles which you can approach this this building. And people camp on the first floor or top floor, bunker up. What you can do is just climb up, hop in, and you got like good shots here. You can go around the corner and you got good shots here. There's so many angles you can use. So now there's a spot which people think are only accessible by Pathfinders or Revenants. So again, using the door technique. Oh, sorry buddy. If you open the door, just gives you that little bit of height. It might take a few goes, it's a little bit, that top ledge pushes you off. But if you try hard enough, it'll allow you to come up, and bang. You're in a position that usually people only think Pathfinders can get to. For these buildings here, they're easy to get up on top of. And there are loads of fights which happen around these, and that's a quick way of just getting up to the top. You can actually climb up these buildings up the side like this, even though it looks really tall and it looks out of reach, you can do it. And another way to use these side walls here. So all these buildings, what you can do is climb around the outside. It does take some practice, but it's possible. This way you can climb up silently, take people out different levels. Okay, and that pretty much concludes my basic tips video. Upcoming videos, I'm thinking about doing a decision making tip video, and yeah, we'll see where we go with that. So next up, decision making. Alright, I hope you learned something today. Thank you for watching.